YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're here with our playthrough of Pokémon Crystal in order of the Pokédex. We're doing an optimized playthrough. If you didn't see my video last week, we played through with Swinub. Now, Swinub itself is kind of a garbage Pokemon, but we played through, and at level 33, we evolved into Piloswine, and we beat the game at just over 2 hours. It's actually a very lengthy playthrough for Pokémon Crystal. So today, we're going to optimize this Pokemon by starting out fully evolved and seeing how much better Piloswine can do than its pre-evolved counterparts. Go ahead and look at the stats of this Pokemon, and we'll dive into the playthrough. Really quick though, there is actually one more evolution with this Pokemon called Mamoswine. It's not available in this generation, it's available in Generation 3. I love the design of this Pokemon, I think it's cool. It's a woolly mammoth mixed with a pig, and it's right around its eyes, it looks like it's like some kind of bandit or something, like a hero or a villain, and kind of looks kind of menacing. I really like the design of this Pokemon. I really wish there was I knew a little bit more about coding, so I can backport this into Generation 2. Maybe I should look and see if there's a patch somewhere where I can get this Pokemon. Maybe that's something for the future. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let's go and look at the stats of this Pokemon, and we'll dive into the playthrough. HP is 100, attack is 100, defense is 80, special attack is 60, special defense is 60, and speed is 50. Speed being 50 is our worst stat. However, I don't feel that speed was really a hindrance for this Pokemon in this playthrough. Our special attack stat is 60, which goes off our ice typing. Now, ice moves are stab, so that's good that this is 60. It could be a lot worse. It could be like, Sneasel only had like 30 special attack, and that was garbage, so basically all of its ice and dark moves were kind of nullified, because it had such bad stats that we just couldn't do it and be successful. And our other typing is ground, which goes off our attack stat. And there's a lot of physical moves with this Pokemon, so that's going to be great. I really think this is a very well-balanced Pokemon, and special defense and defense are pretty solid, and HP being 100 means we have a lot of bulk. So this Pokemon, pretty good. I want to talk about one more thing, and then we'll dive into the playthrough. We are doing an optimized playthrough, which means we can add a move from what's called an egg move set. So if you don't know about this, in Generation 2, they did a thing called breeding for Pokemon. Now, I don't want to get into how the intricacies of Pokemon breeding. However, some Pokemon can breed with each other, and in doing so, you can actually get a move from one of the Pokemon's parents. So in this case, Piloswine has 5 moves it can get from breeding, and that is Ancient Power, Bite, Body Slam, Rock Slide, and Takedown. We'll eliminate Takedown right away and Bite right away. Takedown is a garbage move. We actually get it via level up, so if we really want to use it, it's on here. But it's a garbage move, so we're not going to use it. Bite, it's not a bad move, but it does go off for a special attack stat, which is not as good as our physical attacking stat. It would help us with like 1 or 2 battles in the game, but long term it's just not useful. So that leaves us with 3 moves: Ancient Power, Body Slam, and Rock Slide. Body Slam would be great, however, we're going to get Return, and Return can be more powerful anyway, so it's not a move we can take with us through the whole game and has like an end-game purpose for the most part. That leaves us with Ancient Power and Rock Slide. Now, Ancient Power is very tempting. Ancient Power, even though it's only 60 base power, there are a lot of things this is going to be very powerful against and things weak to it. And the Ancient Power has a thing called the Omni Boost, which is like a 10% chance where if you hit the Pokemon, hit the opposition, we could have all of our stats boosted by 1 stage, which would be very useful if that was like more common, but it's very rare when it happens. It only has 5 power points as well. So there's a very big drawback to that move, whereas Rock Slide is so much better. In the previous playthrough, we actually used Hidden Power Rock, which lowered some of our stats because that's the way Hidden Power, it goes based off your IVs. I don't want to get into that. However, Rock Slide is more powerful than that, and Hidden Power Rock did get us through the game, and this would be a little bit more powerful than that. It does have a 10% drop in accuracy, but we'll take that 10% drop for a little bit more oomph, and I think this will get us through the game pretty well. A bunch of battles that we originally had are going to miss we missed some ranges on. This will compensate for that range. So I think this is going to be pretty good. We're going to go with Hidden Power, we're going to go with Rock Slide. So our starting move pool for this Pokemon is going to be Horn Attack, Powder Snow, Indoor. I don't even know what Indoor does. And then Rock Slide. Whereas Swinub only started with Tackle, so we had to grind a lot. We don't have to do that with this Pokemon. So let's dive into this. We don't have to do any grinding. We don't have to do any early game battles other than the battles that are mandatory, like our rival. Rival's name is question mark as tradition. And we switched it up and gave him a Totodile. In the last playthrough, we gave it a Cyndaquil. So Totodile is better because we don't have any moves that are super effective against it. But we do knock him out, we beat our rival, and we're going to move right on and do some training. And we'll talk a little bit more about this Pokemon as we're doing some training. So we are Ice Ground type, I already went over that. Great typing in my opinion. And we're also in the slow level up rate. Now that was a huge hindrance for Swinub because we didn't have any good moves. With this Pokemon, we actually have good moves, so we don't have to do any pre-game grinding or whatever to make sure we hit some ranges. We will progress through this game pretty well as long as we just maintain and do a couple extra battles here and there. But time is going to be a big thing with this Pokemon. We're going to save so much time because we don't have to do grinding with this Pokemon. I do want to go over one more thing with this Pokemon, that is its type chart, or its weakness chart. We are weak to fighting, steel, fire, water, and grass. So it's a lot of things we're weak to, but there's no 4 times weaknesses. So that's actually pretty good. And with our special defense and our HP, that means we will survive long enough to knock things out as long as we can get a couple hits in. We are completely immune to electric moves, and we resist poison moves. So that's pretty good. That's actually not the worst thing ever. That's actually pretty good for this Pokemon. And the biggest thing right now, like I said, we don't have to do extra battle. So right now we're level 7, and we're not even going to heal. We're going to go right into Faulkner's gym. We actually have 2 very good moves for Faulkner. One is Powder Snow, which it's special, so it's not quite going off our higher attacking stat. But we also have Rock Slide, which is really good, and it's knocking out oppositions left and right here. So we beat that Spearow, and now we're going to face this trainer with 2 Pidgeys. These 2 Pidgeys are going to go down. I named our Pokemon Bacon, by the way. The last playthrough, I should say, was Swine-Up. We named him Ham with 2 M's. This one's name is Bacon. And yeah, it's a pig, so that's why I named it Bacon. So now we're going to go ahead and face Faulkner. Now, Faulkner is the flying specialist, and I had a graphic that didn't come up here, but it is what it is. And we're going to one-shot the Pidgey, and are we going to one-shot the Pidgeotto? We are not. However, we do knock out the Pidgeotto very good, and we beat Faulkner. Let's look at the time comparison between this and the last playthrough. So the last playthrough, like I said, we did have to grind a little bit just to get to level 10 to get Powder Snow. We also faced Bellsprout Tower in the optimized playthrough. We don't have to go to Bellsprout Tower if we don't want to, or if we don't need to, I should say, and we didn't need to. So we beat Faulkner at 3 minutes and 43 seconds compared to our previous playthrough, where we beat 11 minutes and 3 seconds. That's an 8-minute improvement on time, well, 7.5-minute improvement on time. We will take that all day of the week and twice on Sunday, and we're going to go and move into our next gym. Now, I'm not going to go over too many things that went in between this. However, 2 things happened. We did go back and pick Pink Bow. Pink Bow gives us a 10% boost to all normal moves, and in this playthrough, the ROM that I'm using with Scott's Thoughts, you can actually pick up the Hardstone right after you beat Faulkner's gym as well. It's on the way. If you go left of the city, there's a guy standing next to a patch of grass, and he will give you the Hardstone. It's right near where Sudowoodo is, if you don't know where that is. If you want to know, in the next playthrough, I'll show you where this guy is, but I didn't do it in this one. So we're one more trainer away from facing Bugsy. Bugsy is a bug specialist. We have Rock Slide. This will be a complete and utter sweep, I should say. In the previous playthrough, it wasn't too bad, so that's a graphic. We should have one for Faulkner. I don't know why it didn't come up. But in the previous playthrough, we had Powder Snow, which actually did pretty good against the bug Pokemon. However, Rock Slide's doing so much better. Look how powerful. 330 effective power on Scyther. Scyther is a bug and a flying type, so it's 4 times effective. We beat Bugsy, and like I said, we are just maintaining a very good pace here. This is about a 9-minute improvement on the previous playthrough. But we're going to leave this battle. I think we're going to go out here and heal, and then we're going to face our next rival. Now, in the previous playthrough, the rival was a problem because the rival has had a Cyndaquil, and Cyndaquil was just obliterating us. But in this one, we are a little bit faster because we're fully evolved, and we have a better move pool. We have Horn Attack, we had Mud Slap in the previous one, but we had Rock Slide now, and then Rock Slide's going to one-shot the Ghastly very good. We don't have to worry about getting licked or anything like that or put to sleep. So we're going to 3-hit the Croconaw, and Croconaw just doesn't do much to us, even though Water Gun is super effective. I don't know why you do anything other than Water Gun. And then we one-shot the Zubat. So very easy win over our rival. And with that being said, we're going to progress right into the forest. And we're going to go grab this Super Potion right here. Very good. And we're going to talk to this guy with green hair who's looking at a tree. And he's going to give us a Headbutt. Headbutt will be a slight improvement over Horn Attack. What it really does do is whenever we do outspeed something, it will make things flinch. That's pretty good. Now, a couple things around this part of the game here is, one, we do get the radio card, we do get the bicycle, and we usually go and get the Quick Claw. So in the previous playthrough, Quick Claw was actually very important for this Pokemon because it was the only way we had a chance to outspeed Red at the end of the game. I have a completely different strategy, so we don't even have to pick up the Quick Claw in this playthrough. So we just completely avoided that. However, we have to do some extra training because we are in the slow level up rate, and we're not going to pace well and face when we face Whitney. We don't want any bad bad luck, might be the best way to put it, bad RNG happen with Whitney. Whitney is really much a crapshoot for this Pokemon. We don't have a great move. There's nothing that's super effective. There's nothing that works super well. And if memory serves me correct, we do not outspeed this Pokemon. So right now we're outspeeding this last, and we're obliterating her Pokemon. However, Whitney's what's it called? What's that stupid Pokemon? That stupid cow thing. Stupid cow thing. I can't think of the name of it. Miltank. Miltank. It just, I don't know why it's so fast, but it's so much faster than us. And right now we're going to two-shot the Clefairy. Pretty easy knockout. We should have gone for Headbutt there to save a power point, whatever. And now Miltank comes out, and what we're doing is going for Mud Slap, which will lower its accuracy, but it still outspeeds us by 2. So it's going to go first. Now, if it's smart, it just goes for Stomp and just gets flinches from us. And the problem with this Pokemon, Miltank, is it keeps going for Milk Drink, and Milk Drink replenishes its health. And what we don't want to do is go for Attract. Attract is the most annoying move in this game. There's moves that are annoying in Generation 1. The most annoying move is Sand Attack. In Generation 2, it is Attract. Now, she didn't attract us in this, thank goodness. This battle could have taken forever, and this is a drastic improvement. We are half the time we were when we went into the battle previously, and we have no resets at this point in the game. So like I said, 34 minutes is what we were at when it came to facing Whitney in the first playthrough, and now we're at 17 and a half minutes. That's very good. Now we're going to face Sudowoodo, the rock tree thing. And to the right of him is where I got the Heartstone. And Sudowoodo comes out. We don't have a great move for Sudowoodo. I guess we do have a pretty good move. Powder Snow. It's going to be a 3-hit. We knock out Sudowoodo and move right on. To Ecruteak City, where the first thing we're going to do is take on the Komodo Girls. Now, the Komodo Girls are an opportunity to take in every Pokemon Crystal video to ask everyone to please like, comment, subscribe, and if you can watch it in, that'd also be amazing. Liking and commenting gets this video out to more people, gets the algorithm going. I don't quite know how the algorithm works. I know that it thrives off engagement. So if you can engage a little bit, like the video, and then comment what you think, comment any questions, attitudes, concerns, beliefs, whatever the case may be. Just keep it respectful, and I usually reply back to all of my comments. And then if you really like this video and you want to see more videos that are coming out, I'm going to order the Pokédex Pokemon Crystal. So if you can just go to Bulbapedia or just look on your phone, there's apps for it as well. You'll know the next Pokemon, which is Corsola. Corsola is the next Pokemon I'm going to play through in Pokemon Crystal. So you'll know like just the order of the Pokemon I'm playing through. And the last thing is, please make sure you watch to the end. It does help out my videos. It helps out the algorithm again. And right here, we're not really showing too much, but I do want to show that I do go over here and get the Mint Berry. I actually went and did the Lighthouse with this Pokemon first because I wanted to get a couple extra levels because we're not going to outspeed a lot of Pokemon that Morty has. So I wanted to make sure we had enough oomph to get through Morty. But we did grab the Mint Berry, and the Mint Berry is important because the Mint Berry makes it so if we get put to sleep, we can wake right up. So now we're going to go ahead and face our third rival battle. This is in the Burnt Mansion, and he's going to lead out with, I believe, a Haunter. Yep, Haunter comes out, and we got Rock Slide for Haunter. It's a one-shot, very good. I think we have the ability to one- or two-shot every Pokemon here. Yeah, so we get the flinch on Crocodile. That's great. And now Zubat comes out, and that should be a one-shot with, actually, Powder Snow will get the job done. Very good. And then Magnemite comes out, Mud Slap's a one-shot. So we pretty much one-shot everyone except for Crocodile, but Crocodile got flinched, so we took no damage in that battle. And now we're going to go ahead and face Morty. Morty, it's a Pokemon, Morty. Oh, it's a ghost Pokemon. And Morty comes out, and like I said, he has all Ghost and Poison type, so he actually has Ghost Poison. He could be the Poison Gym Leader as well. We one-shot the first Pokemon to come out, which is Ghastly. Haunter comes out. Rock Slide on the Haunter, very good. Now, is Gengar a one-shot? That is the question that I have. So both the Haunters go down to one Rock Slide. And is it a one-shot? It is not. However, he misses. Mud Slap finishes him off. We take no. Well, we take a little. We have 3 damage. I don't know. We didn't get that from Morty. We got that from someone else. However, we're about 20 minutes ahead of the previous time, so that's good. We're going to leave here and go right into our next gym, which is going to be old Chucky Boy. So Chucky Boy comes out, and he's going to lead out with a Primeape, and then his second Pokemon is Poliwrath, which is my favorite Pokemon of all time. And then Primeape comes out. Return is a one-shot on the Primeape. Very good. Which is also a pig Pokemon. And we're going to return, and Dynamic Punch makes us confused. And he hits himself. We knock him out. And we level up, and we have very nice hit points at this point. 69, very nice. And we are not quite 30 minutes, but we're getting close to 30, well, a little over 20, about 23 minutes ahead for our previous time. So we're doing very well in this playthrough. A lot of things are going our way. We have no resets at this point. I think we reset like 3 or 4 times previously to Chuck. That's great. And now we're facing the hulked out Gyarados. All hulked out and red. And so we're going to go for Rock Slide, which I'm very surprised was not a one-shot, but we're going to go for a second hit. We return, knock it out, get the win over Red Gyarados, and we're not going to show the Rocket plot line, which go ahead and go right into our next gym, which is Price, which is very nice because Price will actually give us a boost to our Ice moves and gives us an upgrade over Powder Snow. Let's go ahead and face Price. He comes out with Seal. Return is a one-shot on the Seal, very good. Seal is just the name of an animal, and so is Dugong. So very, very unique. There should be a third evolution that's like something else, like Manatee or something like that. And we're going to return on the Piloswine. 2-hit knockout on the Piloswine. Hey, that's us. And now we are still about 23 minutes ahead of our previous time. But like I said, we do get a nice upgrade with Price. He does improve our ice moves because we get a boost from his gym, and we also get a move called Icy Wind, which is stab. It does have 95% accurate, so it is a little bit less accurate than Powder Snow, but it is way more powerful. We one-shot the first Magnemite. Felix comes out, we're going to go for Mud Slap, so his actually gets lowered, and we want his actually lowered because I think we can 3-hit with Icy Wind, but we do get the loss here, so it's the first loss of the game against Jasmine. Magnemite's a foregone conclusion. Mud Slap's going to be one-shot. I'm not worried about him at all. The big Pokemon I'm worried about, this is a big Pokemon, is Steelix. So we're going to Mud Slap twice to make sure it actually goes down. And so now we're in range. We should be able to hit one more. There we go. And a Magnemite, unless we screw up and hit the wrong move, we're going to one-shot the Magnemite. Very good. Magnemite actually can't do really much to us there. And right now we're just 23 minutes. We're maintaining that 23-minute advantage that we have over our previous playthrough. That's very good. We're pacing pretty well. That's good. We're having a pretty consistent pace. And then now we're going to face our 4th rival battle in the underground base in Goldenrod City. Golbat comes out. Rock Slide's a one-shot on the Golbat. Very good. If it goes in order, no, Feraligator's next. Okay, so it doesn't go in order. Return will be a 2-shot. Water Gun doesn't really do much to us. It's kind of a garbage move at this point in the game. I don't know why it doesn't have like Surf or something like that, but I digress. I'm not going to complain. We don't have to deal with it. We're going to one-shot the Sneasel. We're going to one-shot the Magnemite. Very good. And then the last Pokemon is Haunter. Haunter is going to go down to 1 Rock Slide. Yep, there we go. Clean sweep over our rival. Very good. We beat him, and we're going to move right into our next battle, which is going to be against Claire. This is part of our Rival Claire Rival Sandwich. We're saving right before Claire, and I think she gave us a couple resets in the first playthrough. So we're going to see what happens here. Dragonair comes out, and we're going to hit Icy Wind on the Dragonair. Very good. It's a one-shot. We don't have to equip the Never Melt Ice, which is great. We got a good range, and we're going to get one shot by the Kingdra here. That was awesome. Critical hit. Don't know if that mattered or not. Probably did matter. I think we would have survived at least one hit from the Kingdra, but we're going to try this again. So we're going to go for Rock Slide. Hope we get the flinch. That's what we're hoping for there. Return, we miss. Surf does not one-shot, so it was a range. And now, with that being said, we just got to hit Icy Wind on the Dragonair. That's good. Now we hit one more Icy Wind and we win this game. Icy Wind, nope, miss. Icy Wind, we missed again, and we take another reset. I don't recall the last time I've lost to a Dragon. I've lost to Kingdra plenty of times, but Dragonair, never been knocked out by a Dragonair in this battle. Not in a long time. I don't recall it ever happening. So it is what it is, but now we're going to go ahead and do this again. We're going to go for Return on the Kingdra, not a one-shot, so it knocks us out with Surf. That's awesome. Hopefully we just get the right RNG. So 3 resets have come to Claire alone, and 1 reset came to Jasmine. So, yep, this is not fun, but Rock Slide, we don't get the flinch. Come on, get the flinch. Return, it's a range, so we get the 2-hit knockout. And as long as we don't have our actually load, we should one-shot both of these. We can miss still. It is only 95% accurate. Nope, we don't miss. We get the ranges. We knock out, and we beat Claire. And we're still maintaining. Actually, we've lost some time. We're not still at 20. Are we at 20 minutes? Yeah, we're over 20 minutes at this point. Almost at 30 minutes, so we're getting there. But now we're going to go ahead and leave here and go face our final rival battle of the game before we take on the Elite Four. And at this point, we have added Earthquake. Earthquake replaced Mud Slap, and we have a very good move. I don't know why we don't get this move at level up, but we have a very good move at this point in the game. So Sneasel comes out, and we should have gone for Earthquake. Just use Earthquake. It's a one-shot. It is what it is, but should have just gone for Earthquake. Don't risk it. It doesn't have an ice move, but we could have got frozen or something. You just never want to risk it. Okay, we knock out the Feraligator, and everyone else should be a one-shot. One-shot on the Kadabra, very good. Magneton, it's got 600 effective power. Earthquake does against Magnetons, that's a one-shot. Haunter comes out, Earthquake's a one-shot. And the final Pokemon Golbat, a Earthquake will not hit it. Rock Slide is a one-shot. We get the win over our rival, and we're going to progress right on to the Elite Four. We put away our HM friends, and we went ahead and bought a couple 4-stores, and we're going to take on the Elite Four. But first, we'll look at our moves and our stats going to the Elite Four. Our moves first: Return, Rock Slide, Earthquake, and Icy Wind. We're not going to change this up. The only thing we might change is our held item. Right now, we have the Heartstone, which boosts Rock Slide by 10%. We have Never Melt Ice to boost Icy Wind by 10%. We have the Soft Sand to boost Earthquake, and we have Pink Bow to boost Return. Let's look at the stats going into Elite Four. It's not really important what our out-of-battle stats are. Our in-battle stats are in the bottom left corner. Attacks 154, defense 132, special attacks 111, special defense is 99, and speed is 101. Pretty good going in. I think we're going to do pretty well. Let's go and take on our first member of Elite Four, which is Will. He is a psychic specialist, and he comes out, and there he is. There he is in his weird little vest thing, and he has a mask on, just like Mamoswine. And the first Pokemon is Xatu. Xatu goes down to 1 Rock Slide. Jinx comes out next. We're going to switch up to Earthquake. It's more consistent, and we don't have to worry about missing and getting frozen or something. I don't think we can get frozen because we're an ice type, but whatever. And we're going to 2-hit the Executor with Icy Wind. Very good. That leaves 2 Pokemon left. Slowbro is the first one, and Slowbro is pretty bulky, so we're going to take a handful of hits to knock this Pokemon out. Actually, we're going to take 4 hits with Earthquake. That's ridiculous. I didn't know that Pokemon was that bulky, but whatever. Get the knockout, and Rock Slide one-shots the Xatu. So because of Slowbro, we actually have to do a full restore and heal up. But now we're going to take on the next member Elite Four, which is going to be Koga. Koga is a poison specialist, and he leads out with an Ariados. Ariados is going to go down to 1 move, and that's going to be Rock Slide. Rock Slide, the one-shot, very good. Venomoth comes out next. We can switch it up to Nope, we're going to stick with Rock Slide. Okay, I thought maybe we might switch it up for consistency. But we get the one-shot, and then Fortress comes out, and it's going to be a 2-shot with Earthquake. Very good. I don't know why it goes for Spikes. I have 1 Pokemon, but we'll take it because it wastes a turn, and we take no damage. And so far, we have no damage done to us. Is it going to change up because of Crobat? It is or is not. Return, is it going to be? It's going to be a 2-shot. Okay, we take no damage at all against Koga. That's great. So we have full health going into the next member of the Elite Four, I should say, which is Bruno. We don't want to talk about Bruno very much. It's actually very tough in this playthrough because his Pokemon are not inadequate like they are in Generation 1. Earthquake one-shots the Hitmontop. Very good. We have a great range there. Do we have a range on the Hitmonlee? We do. That's a 2 Okos. And are we going to one-shot the Hitmonchan? We do. Excellent. Machamp comes out. We're not going to one-shot the Machamp. However, we just got to tank a Cross Chop. Very good. And he's going to go for Max Potion. He's in a healing loop. As long as we stick with Earthquake, we should be fine. It's 100% accurate. And then the last Pokemon is going to be Onix. We went for Earthquake because we didn't want a chance that Ice Wind would miss and we get knocked out. Didn't want that to happen. So we win and move right on to Karen. Now, so far, we've taken no resets in Elite Four. And Karen usually is the outlier that makes it so we take a reset. So we're going to go for Rock Slide, which does exactly what we want. We do not get sand attacked by the Umbreon, which means we are in a great place right now. Icy Wind, we miss, and we're going to get a 2-hit on the Vileplume. If we just hit Icy Wind one more time, we do. We are paralyzed, so that's not great. However, we still are in a good spot. Earthquake is going to one-shot the Houndoom. Every Pokemon left is going to get one shot as long as we don't miss our moves. Rock Slide, is it a one-shot on the Murkrow? It is, and now Gengar is left. If we don't get paralyzed or stay paralyzed, and we just hit an Earthquake, we win. Very good. Even though we're paralyzed, even though we got cursed, we get a first try victory over Karen. We're at 4 resets. We just rounded 1 hour. We could have got this done maybe under an hour if I did a couple things a little bit different, but we're on a good pace. I'm happy with the pace. Rock Slide is not a one-shot on the Gyarados. He goes for Rain Dance, which is great for us because the Charizard comes out, and if Charizard goes for Flamethrower, with the water out, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but we miss a Rock Slide, so we take some damage, and I think that's going to be detrimental, and it's going to give us some problems. Icy Wind is going to be not a one-shot on the Dragonite, so we actually probably need to equip the Nevermelt Ice. I think Gyarados, no matter what's a 2-shot, and Charizard's going to be a 1-shot anyway, so I think the better thing to do here is actually to equip the Nevermelt Ice, and we're going to get knocked out here by the Aerodactyl. He outspeeds us anyway. So we do have the Nevermelt Ice equipped, and we take 1 reset to Lance the Dragon Master. And like I said, it's still going to be a 2-shot, so not a big deal. And we want him to set up the rain. That way Charizard can't come out and hit us with a Flamethrower in case we miss. We get the 1-shot, so now we're at full health with 4 Pokemon left. We're in a good spot. And Icy Wind with the Nevermelt Ice hits no, it still misses the range, but it does lower its speed, and we get the knockout. And I think we're going to hit the ranges on the rest of the Pokemon, though. And we're going to go for Rock Slide on the Aerodactyl with the 1-shot. Very good. And unless we miss our attacks, Dragonite should go down. And the third Dragonite should go down as well. Very good. We hit our ranges, and we knock out Lance's Pokemon. And we're going to go ahead and get our time locked in at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 56 seconds. When we compare that with the previous playthrough, we were at 1 hour and 28 minutes, 53 seconds. That is a drastic improvement of time. We're 1 level lower. We have 9 less resets, and that is, what is that time? That is 27 minutes difference, almost 30-minute difference from the original playthrough. That's pretty good. We're at such a good pace, but we still have 8 more gyms and 1 more big battle to have in this game. So we have to do all that in Kanto. So I will see you guys in Kanto. Now that we're in Kanto, we're going to take on the gym leaders, and they're all pretty trivial, so I'm going to talk about some changes between Gen 1 and Gen 2. First change is they added the Dark and Still type. Second, they added concept of night and day. Some Pokemon can only be found during the night and some during the day. And actually, there's a couple battles only available at night. If you go to Goldenrod City, north of Goldenrod next to the entrance to Union Park, and then south of Goldenrod next to the daycare, there's a cop standing there. During the day, nothing happens. If you talk to them at night, they attack with the Growlithe. And then they had 2 more concepts I'll talk about real quick. One is the concept of Pokemon breeding, which we're all experts on at this point. So we'll move on to the concept I'm going to talk about for this specific video, and that is they changed up special. In Generation 1, they had one stat which was special. I'm actually going to pause it here just briefly and kind of just slow it down for a second because I want to talk about one Pokemon in here, and that is not this Pokemon, and that is Victory Bell. So in Generation 1, they just had special. So Victory Bell, let's look at Victory Bell's stats in Generation 1 really quick. In Gen 1, look down at the bottom, it says this Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 100, which essentially meant its attack and defense in Gen 1 was 100. Okay? In Gen 2, they split that up, which means this Pokemon got nerfed a little bit. It went from having a very high special, which means it was a little bit more bulky, to a lower special now, which is special defense is 60. So it went down 40 points in that stat. That's essentially what we're looking at here. So in Generation 2, that changed some Pokemon. It changed Victory Bell for the worse, and some Pokemon that got better. Another Pokemon that got worse was Chansey, but Charizard, for example, gets better, because in Generation 1, its special was 85, which was attack and defense, but in Generation 2, its special attack is 109, and its defense kept the 85 stat, so it got better. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because not only did this change a lot of Pokemon's like trajectories of how good or bad they are, but it changed some moves on how good or bad some moves are. In Generation 1, the reason why my favorite Pokemon is Poliwhirl is Poliwhirl gets access to Amnesia. Amnesia ups your special by 2 stages, and in Gen 1, that was attack and defense. Now, I played through with the Pokemon early in my Pokemon Crystal playing like runs, where we were playing through, and I thought Amnesia did the same thing in Gen 2, and it ended up like wasting my time, and it was a worthless move. In Gen 2, Amnesia only ups your special defense. So I think it was a Azumarill. I didn't have an overlay, so it wasn't showing me stats at the time. If I did it now, I'd know right away it's not boosting my stats. So I was like, what the heck is going on? I thought this move would boost your special attack, special defense, but it only boosts your special defense. So a long time ago in Generation 2, I pretty much wrote off the move Amnesia, because it only works on defense, not on offense. I'm like, this is pointless. I don't really need this that often. However, this is why you kind of got to go into every Pokemon and be a little bit unbiased. So I basically developed kind of like a biasy towards or against this move, I should say, Amnesia, and I basically have not used it in any playthrough, but I'm looking through how to win the game with this Pokemon, a little more consistent strategy, and I completely overlooked the fact that this Pokemon gets Amnesia at level 70. Now, in the last playthrough, we skipped it. We skipped the move, we didn't learn it, and we had a lot of resets against Red, and what I'm trying to do is avoid that. So I'm trying to have a little bit more consistency. And that move, the move Amnesia, is what's going to save us here. And it's such a good move in Generation 1. I can't express how good it is. Poliwhirl is better than Poliwrath in Generation 1 because it gets access. If you start out with Poliwhirl, you'll get Amnesia, you'll be able to badge boost, you'll be able to boost your stats and beat the game pretty well. Poliwrath will still beat the game pretty well, but it does not get Amnesia because it's a Stone evolution, and it won't get it via level up if you start out with Poliwrath. Now, Poliwhirl evolve into Poliwrath, different question. That's a different story. That's why it's my favorite line in Generation 1, the Poliwag, the Poliwhirl, the Poliwrath. However, this move, like I said, gets nerfed in Generation 2, so my opinion of it dropped significantly. However, with this Pokemon, we're going to significantly improve on our time, which was just over 2 hours in the first playthrough, which we're going to get a much better time. So we're looking at 1 hour and 16 minutes, 1 hour and 17 minutes right now as we beat Blaine. So we have one more trainer, and then we have Red. And then we'll showcase the strategy to beat Red. We beat Blaine, we one hit him across the board, Oko him across the board, and now we're going to face Blue. Blue will come out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot goes down to 1 Ice Beam. Ice Beam will hit Pidgeot, very good. That's a one-shot, excellent. And then the next Pokemon to come out is Gyarados. I still don't understand how Rock Slide's not a one-shot. However, it's okay. He misses his Hydro Pump anyway, not a big deal. Rock Slide knocks him out, very good. Next Pokemon to come out is Alakazam. We'll go for Earthquake. He does outspeed us, so we're going to take a hit. Does about a third. I'd say it's about a third. So not great. However, I think we have some good ranges against the next Pokemon, so we're not going to worry too much about that. We do one-shot the Executor. That's actually another Pokemon that got nerfed in Generation 2 because its special was very good in Generation 1. Arcanine goes down as well, the one hit. And in the last Pokemon, Ice Beam on the Rhydon, it is a one-shot. Excellent, very good. So we beat Blue, and that leads us right into our battle against Red. So here's the strategy against Red. We want to get to level 60 because we get 10 rare candies throughout the course of a playthrough in Pokemon Crystal. So as long as I got the level 60, I can give all my rare candies. We don't have to be higher level than 70. I think in the previous playthrough, I might have been like level 75 or 76 or something. We don't have to have that. We just got to get level 70 to get Amnesia, and then we added in Curse. We got rid of Rock Slide. As much as Rock Slide is very effective against Charizard, it's very inaccurate, and I think we can get this in one try. That's what we're going to do here. So we're going to go ahead and face red, and the whole premise of this is first we set up with Amnesia, boosting our special defense. The big problem in this battle is Charizard and Blastoise both have moves that can practically one-hit us. Flamethrower will do a lot of damage, and Blastoise's Surf will do a lot of damage. And we want to counter that, and that's what Amnesia does. It ups our special defense so that those moves basically do nothing to us, and now we're going to use Curse. If you don't know what Curse does, Curse ups our attack stat and defensive stat by 1 stage, and then it lowers our speed by 1 stage. So we don't really want to worry about going first. What we want to do is we have leftovers equipped that we can just keep healing ourselves. So Pikachu is going to do nothing to us. And we get fully set up. We have maxed out attack, well, as max as we can get with +6. Maxed out defense, +6 as well. And maxed out special defense. So see how a little Flamethrower did? And we're weak to it. And we one-shot the Charizard, very good. Blastoise comes out, and it's going to go for Rain Dance, so we don't even get hit by Surf. I mean, if it crits, it'll skip over all of our stat modifications, but we're doing well. Espeon doesn't do anything to us either. The best thing it could have done, honestly, is go for Reflect, but I still think we'd still one-shot even with Reflect up. And we're going to go for Return on the Snorlax. It's a one-shot as well. And then Venusaur comes out. It's going to set up Solar Beam, which wouldn't one-shot us anyway. And we get the one-hit knockout on Venusaur. And now we're going to get our time locked in with red. And look at this drastic difference in time. Look at this time difference. This is the biggest time jump I've ever had in a playthrough. This Pokemon went from 2 hours and 45 seconds. Okay? Like, literally, like, I'll show you in a minute, like one of the worst tiers, to jumping up to just over an hour and 20 minutes or the 80-minute mark. That's incredible. 5 resets compared to 33. And like I said, 2 level difference. That's amazing. That's awesome. We even had lesser stats going into this battle than we did in the first battle. So that is awesome. That being said, let's move on and look at how the tier list looked before this playthrough and then after. So this is before. Piloswine's down here in the Ditto tier. Over 2 hours. Barely over 2 hours. We probably should have done less. But that battle was solely based on luck and RNG. And with consistency and having a more consistent strategy and starting out fully evolved, this Pokemon jumps all the way up to the B tier and outdoes Typhlosion and is right behind Espeon. Honestly, there's a couple Pokemon I need to play through again. Typhlosion's one. Politoed is actually one of the earliest Pokemon in my challenge series with Pokemon Crystal, so it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to play through again with Politoed. But Piloswine, it jumps right up there. It's a top 10 Pokemon right now. It's top 10. It's number 10 on the list. It pushed Cyndaquil. I'm sorry, Typhlosion. There we go. Not Cyndaquil. Pushed Typhlosion back and pushed Politoed back. Like I said, I think Politoed would do better if I did one more playthrough. But that's how Piloswine did. And I actually think it could do a little bit better if I did a third playthrough. I guarantee I can shave off a couple more minutes. Do I think I can get it under 80 minutes? Yeah, I think I could. I think it's possible with this Pokemon. But let's look at what's coming up next on this channel. So the next thing we have on Friday, since last Friday I did a video showcasing how I set up my videos because some other people were wanting to play through with Pokemon and want to know how I set it up so they could change their starter and whatever. So Starmie will come out this Friday. I made a mistake in the Starmie video. I've been changing up the graphics. There's like a patch. It adds like a more colorful, vibrant playthrough, and I just completely forgot to do it. So don't hate me. But that'll be coming out on Friday, and it's actually pretty eye-opening about this Pokemon. You'll see. And then next week, we're actually going to kick off our next playthrough, which is Corsola. Corsola is I think it's a water rock Pokemon. This is going to be very interesting. It has some decent things going for it. It also has some bad things going for it. It's one of those Pokemon that's like it's going to be tough. It's kind of like Swinub. Swinub has some good things. Piloswine had some great things. There's also some setbacks, so we'll see. I'm real excited about this Pokemon. Never used it before. Never had any inclination to use it before in my life. But we're going to use it on Friday. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is JD. This is Polywar's Wrath. Let me know what you think. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.